And today we are very fortunate to have 3 global youth ambassadors who are going to join us on the stage to have a bit of fire chat. Ladies and gentlemen, again, if your hands are not too busy, I will please welcome Honorable Peter Obi, former governor of Anambra State, Nigeria, and a youth champion. Please come to the stage, Mr. Obi. I like that. That is the energy. Mr. Obi is a true youth champion, changing the narrative of agri-food system in Africa.
Hello guys, you're welcome back to my channel. My name is Tessie. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you all, depending on where you are watching from. Hope you all are doing well, and thank you so much for stopping by. So it was a fresh and warm welcome from the people of Rwanda as Peter Obi arrived their country. Videos on social media shows how he was welcomed by the youth and leaders of Rwanda. Peter Obi also made a post on his Twitter handle telling us about his trip to the country. According to him, he went there not only to explore personal desires, but also to seek solutions for the challenges that both Nigeria and Africa face. During his time in Kigali, Obi had the opportunity to meet with several important people who work in different areas of development. These meetings, based on what he said, some were planned and others were spontaneous and covered a wide range of topics. He discussed issues like sport and food security, which are important concerns for Africa as a whole. However, the main topic that stood out to Peter Obi during these conversations was the issue of productivity. Obi has always been passionate about increasing productivity in Nigeria.
Very excellent, Mr. Obi. A round of applause for him, please. What I take away is that we need leadership commitment to facilitate youth inclusion. Mr. Obi, if you had to change one thing, one partition, what will you change to change agriculture sector?
To invest in the energy, entrepreneurship, and innovative spirit of the young people who can drive this process by encouraging them to know that this is the next
excellent
in the future.
Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it all. A round of applause for my
He believes
panelists.
that one of the major problems holding back Nigeria is that the country focuses too much on consumption rather than production. In simple terms, this means that Nigeria is not making or producing enough of its own goods and services, but instead relies heavily on import and consumption of other countries' make. All right, so please, if you haven't, help me by liking and sharing this video so that YouTube and Facebook can recommend it to more people. Thank you. So in Kigali, Obi had a conversation with the former Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Hailemariam Desalegn. Desalegn shared an inspiring story about Ethiopia's progress in productivity. He explained that when Ethiopia started working with China, they noticed that Chinese workers were able to produce 6 to 7 times more than Ethiopia workers. This was a huge difference, and it highlighted how much work Ethiopia needed to do in order to catch up. However, instead of being discouraged, Ethiopia decided to take action and focus on improving productivity over time. They made significant changes, and today, the average Ethiopia worker is able to produce about 60 to 70% of what Chinese workers can produce. This is a massive improvement and shows how much can be achieved with the right focus and determination. Obi uses Ethiopia's story as an example of what Nigeria can also achieve. He believes that just like Ethiopia, Nigeria can move from being a country that merely consumes to one that produces much more. Obi argues that Nigeria must increase its productivity in key areas like agriculture, manufacturing, and technology. If Nigeria can start producing more, it will not only create more jobs for its people, but also reduce poverty and strengthen its economy. When a country produces more, it also reduces its dependence on other countries for goods, and this in turn strengthens its currency and improves the overall standard of living for the citizens. In the second part of his article, Peter Obi talks about one of the most important moments of his trip to Kigali, his meeting with President Paul Kagame of Rwanda. According to Peter Obi, this meeting was a significant highlight because Kagame is a leader he admires greatly. Kagame is widely respected both in Africa and around the world for his role in transforming Rwanda from a country devastated by genocide into one of the most stable and fastest growing economies in Africa. Obi shares his deep admiration for Kigali's leadership style, especially his commitment to managing resources carefully and serving the people faithfully. According to Peter Obi, these are values that resonate deeply with him because he also believes that good resource management and genuine leadership are essential for the progress of any country, especially in Africa. Obi explained that his conversation with Kagame focused on what it takes for African countries to move forward and succeed. He sees Kagame as a leader who truly understands how to manage a country's resources wisely, even when those resources are limited. Kagame's success in transforming Rwanda is based on his ability to focus on long-term goals, hold people accountable, and ensure that public resources are used effectively for the benefit of the people. Obi feels strongly that this model of leadership is something that many other African countries, including Nigeria, should learn from. One of the key points Obi emphasizes is that Kagame's leadership proves that a country does not need to be rich in natural resources to succeed. Rwanda, like many African nations, has limited resources, but Kagame has managed to turn these into a strength by focusing on innovation, education, and good governance. For Obi, this is proof that with the right leadership, any African country can overcome its challenges and achieve sustainable growth. He believes that if Nigeria follows a similar path, it can also achieve great thing. All right, so now let's face it. Obi's focus on increasing productivity, which is something he has been saying for ages, like we all know, is very important. Nigeria is a country that faces many challenges, and one of the biggest is the fact that the country does not produce enough of what it needs. As a result, Nigeria relies too heavily on import, which put a lot of strain on the economy. Obi understands that for Nigeria to grow and become stronger, it must shift its focus to producing more goods and services at home. This shift from consumption to production will have a huge impact on the economy, creating more jobs, reducing poverty, and making the country more self-sufficient. The example that Obi gave about Ethiopia is very relevant to Nigeria's situation. Ethiopia, like Nigeria, faced challenges with low productivity, but instead of accepting it as their fate, Ethiopia decided to take action. Just like their prime minister said, they focused on improving their productivity, and the results are clear. Ethiopian workers now produce much more than they're used to. By following a similar path, Nigeria can also boost its productivity and become more competitive globally. One of the key reasons why Obi's focus on productivity is so commendable is because it addresses multiple issues at once. Nigeria has a very young and growing population, which means that the country needs to create more jobs to support its people. By increasing productivity, Nigeria can create new opportunities for employment, especially in industry like agriculture and manufacturing. This will help to reduce the high level of unemployment in the country and give the young people more opportunities to build a better future. Obi's vision for Nigeria is not just about creating jobs, though. He also understands that by producing more goods and services locally, Nigeria will reduce its dependence on imported products. This is important because when a country imports more than it exports, it puts a lot of pressure on its currency and economy. By producing more at home, Nigeria can save money, strengthen its currency, the naira, and build a more sustainable economy that is less affected by changes in the global market. And if you look at it, his use of Ethiopia as an example also shows his belief in learning from other African countries. He understands that African success will depend on its countries working together and learning from each other's experiences. That Ethiopia success story is a powerful example that Nigeria can follow. Now, in addition to Obi's meeting with Kagame, he also talks about his experience attending the Sherry Silver Foundation, the Silver Gala in Kigali. The foundation, which is led by Sherry Silver, an internationally recognized choreographer and philanthropist, focuses on empowering African youth through various programs. These programs are designed to support young people in areas like entrepreneurship, creativity, and education. And Obi's participation in Gala gave him the chance to meet many young Africans who are full of energy, creativity, and innovation. Seeing the passion and potential of these young people made a strong impression on Obi. At the gala, Obi saw firsthand the bright future that Africa has if the continent can tap into the energy and talent of its young people. Looking around the room, he saw a group of young Africans who are ready to take the continent to new heights through their innovative ideas and entrepreneurial spirit. One of Obi's key messages is that African youth are ready to lead the continent into a new era of progress, but they need leaders who believe in them and invest in their future. He emphasized that this investment in the youth is not just about providing them with education or jobs, but also about creating opportunities for them to use their talent and ideas to solve the problems that Africa faces. Obi believes that young Africans have the potential to be the driving force behind the continent's economic revolution, and he is convinced that with the right leadership, Africa will rise to new heights. Obi also reflects on the importance of visionary leadership in helping Africa realize its potential. For him, visionary leaders are those who think about long-term success of their countries and not just short-term gains. They are leaders who are willing to make difficult decisions, hold people accountable, and create systems that work for the benefit of all. Obi argues that Africa needs more leaders like Kagame, who are dedicated to managing resources wisely and serving their people with honesty and integrity. Obi concluded by expressing his confidence in both Nigeria and Africa as a whole. He firmly believes that a new Nigeria is not only possible, but within the reach. According to him, he envisioned a Nigeria where the government is transparent, accountable, and focused on improving the lives of its citizens. And this vision is closely tied to his broader belief that Africa as a continent is on the rise. According to Peter Obi, despite the many challenges the continent faces, Africa has all the ingredients necessary to become leader in global development. All right, my people, and that is it for you all. Indeed, the future of Africa is bright, but only if the right kind of leadership is in place. The truth of the matter is that Africa's potential is unstoppable and the continent is on the verge of major transformation. However, this transformation will only happen if the African leaders embrace accountability, invest in their youth, and manage their resources wisely, just like Peter Obi said. And without all of this in place, we will only have a sleeping giant as a continent. And that is it for you all. This is all we have concerning Peter Obi's visit to Rwanda. I'm going to leave you all to share your thoughts with me on the comment section. And with all of that being said, I'm going to say thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye-bye. Bye.